Hi folks, welcome back to the Amazing Education Station. It's the channel that doesn't have great video, but it tells you what you need to know. Yeah, it's information that's truly going to benefit you. So today's topic, don't eat cake in the morning before work. You know what? There's some delicious cakes out there, but it might slow you down and fill you up. It's a good thing to maybe eat a little fruit, some nuts, maybe. If you're a typical American, you need calcium, but you might need to stay away from high fat, like even milk. You should be walking to work or school or wherever you need to go to get enough exercise. And so in the morning, you might want to skip the sweet cereals. So this is not medical advice. Also, I'm not a financial advisor, so it's not financial advice, not a doctor, lawyer, but I'm a master educator, and so you can learn a lot. It can really benefit you. Please watch the other videos. If you did and followed the advice, shared the videos, and everyone followed the advice, we would have a peaceful, healthier, happier world. So yeah. So back to don't eat cake in the morning. What's the deal? I had some cake this morning and it slowed me way down. You know, I had some almond milk on the cake. It's sort of nice, you know, if you have dry cake, maybe you're storing the cake and it dries out. Just pour a little some kind of good liquid on it and you can eat that. It's like ice cream, but it's going to be lower fat and lower calorie, so it'll be better for you. Another thing is a better, as I said, maybe fruit and nuts would be better. Maybe almond milk would be better. And the reason why I say don't have normal milk is purely because of the fat and the calories, and most people have enough. But if you're lacking fat, you can make a mistake and cut out so much fat in your diet that it causes you to actually eat more and get more calories. For example, non-fat yogurt, that's usually loaded with sugar, and so it may be higher calories and causes hunger. That's right, look it up. So you think you're doing a good job by cutting out fat? No, I would say don't go on any kind of a diet in any way, but just choose healthier things to eat. So don't say like I'm on a low-fat diet or a non-fat diet. No, just think like, well, almond milk is good. It has the calcium that I need, and but that doesn't mean you should cut out dairy 100%. You know, there's some even good evidence. People that don't freak out and, you know, they have whole fat dairy, like some kind of whole milk or something, that may actually be better for them, but it just depends on if the rest of what you eat may be just too high fat. So you can avoid red meats, you can avoid beef. The number one killer in the United States, again, I'm not a doctor, not medical advice, number one killer is cardiovascular disease, and it has a lot to do with people driving cars, breathing in the exhaust, which damages their system. Yeah, because you might not smell it, but you're breathing the exhaust when you're driving. We need to get away from the fossil fuels, okay? And we should get back into bicycling and walking. Yeah, ride a horse even, who knows? If you can figure it out, how to turn that horse and have it do what you want to do. Great way to get around. If you have the land, lucky you. And you might have a longer, happier life walking and riding your bike and so on. Okay, another thing about cake, besides being very high calorie, just that can slow you down. The high calorie and possibly the high fat and high sugar aspect of the cake can cause your digestive system to sort of go into high gear when you might need the energy to work or to go to school or whatever. And so avoid the high sugar cereals and the cake and the donuts and whatever that are just gonna just make you tired, because your body needs to put energy into digesting and, unfortunately, probably storing the extra calories, which you probably didn't need. And I was eating the cake so it wouldn't go stale. So another thing to do is just freeze something like that, or if you want to feed animals, or you can do something else, although probably don't give it, like a dog or a cat can't handle high sugar foods. They should be eating pet food and foods that are healthy for them. A lot of people really ruin the health of their pets, so you're feeding animals human food, I should say, can make them unhealthy. That's right, overweight, and they might also not be getting enough exercise. So you may just have one pet, but they'll get more exercise if you have a couple of pets, or if there's an outdoor area where they can interact with the wild creatures, but make sure it's in a safe, controlled way. If you have dangerous wild animals, don't leave your pet out unless it's much stronger than the wild animals. Okay, be careful about that. Okay, but so what I'm saying is, don't feed the cake to the pets, but you could feed the cake to some chipmunks or squirrels or whatever birds. Although right now it's still spring of 2022 and we have some bird flu going around, and they say don't bring birds together, that would spread the bird flu. Who knows, you might also get that. Okay, so another issue, I had cinnamon cake, and although that could be healthy, some spice could be healthy, but they've discovered that the cinnamon used in North America, it's not the same cinnamon and may not even be considered cinnamon in other countries. Yeah, it's interesting. Look it up. What we're eating, it can be considered dangerous, not really good. Now, in small quantities, it might be fine, but there are some foods we eat in the United States which are frankly outlawed in other countries, considered to be a health hazard. And I'm not saying that's the case with cinnamon, but take a look, because it's possible. And I did read on the internet that cinnamon can correlated with a certain kind of health problem, or maybe something to do with the liver. It might be hard for our systems to handle, because after all, it's really the bark of a tree. So it's the skin of a tree, dried, ground up, and trees and other plants, some of them have very strong positive chemicals in them, but also sort of insecticide type properties, which could affect us as well. So think of what kind of bark and tree bark do we eat? That's the skin of a tree. It's got to be very strong and protective. And I don't know, besides cinnamon, I can't think of any other. But as I said, in different countries, they eat something that's less harmful. And as far as I know, it's probably from a different species of tree, and probably more expensive, and the flavor might not be so strong. Part of the strong flavor are the it's the chemical makeup. And people sometimes react and they say, oh, I really don't like that cinnamon flavor. Ooh, it's not good. Well, they might be very sensitive to maybe the cancer-causing properties, possibly. I'm not saying it is. You got to do your own research, and of course every individual is different, but you might consider buying a different kind of cinnamon or avoiding cinnamon. It's a possibility. And cinnamon cake and those cinnamon rolls, oh my gosh, you know, they look good, they taste good to me, but it might not be so good. And get this, either the sugar or the spice could make you wake up in the middle of the night. If your body is trying to get rid of harmful substances, you might find yourself waking up to go to the bathroom to get rid of that. And so it could be interrupting your sleep. Chocolate is also a sleep interrupter for a different reason. It's the caffeine. And tried quitting chocolate for a month, even though it may be hard. Try doing that, no chocolate for a month, and see what happens. You might find yourself able to sleep better, and it will improve your mood throughout the days as you get the chocolate out of your system and you sleep much earlier, maybe 3 hours earlier. Instead of 1 in the morning, you might be able to get to sleep at 11 at night, for example. And then you're not so grumpy at work and everything seems nicer. And so consider that. Okay, well, that's the not medical advice, and I'm not a nutritionist, but personal research observations. And in case you feel concerned, don't worry, I am a master educator. Usually my IQ is above 120. I try to keep it up there for you so you can benefit from good education. Okay, take care, folks. Like, thumbs up, and subscribe, and that will help other people to see these videos, and it helps the YouTube algorithm to recommend the videos to you that I put out in the future and to other people. So, okay, and good health to you. All right, take care.